All right, howdy everybody. The Brant here from the Portal Home Studio. I hope you're doing well. I hope your 2021 is going well. I'm here with a little play of Shards of Infinity. I'm going to play the solo game. This has been requested a couple times by a few people, so I wanted to get a game of this in. Really good game that's lasted, I want to say it's from like 2016, and then they made an expansion that gave solo rules. And then they made an expansion for the co-op mode, actually, right here, which I really like the co-op mode, but it does get a little hectic with more people. So have that as well. So I pulled out the stuff from this co-op. There's a new faction actually in there, which I really like, but I'm not sure that it works with the solo mode. So I did that. And I'm just following the rules from this Relics of the Future here. So this is a deck building game where you're fighting against your opponent. So I will be playing Tetra, and my opponent will be Kosin Wu. We both have 50 health, maybe a little tough for you to see. And the goal is to get the other person to 0 health. Now, there's also this cool mastery element where you can gain mastery and you can upgrade what cards do. So, for example, this card here says, if I'm at 10 mastery, I gain 5 health. So I can heal for 5 as well. And cards give you mastery and you can buy 1 mastery per turn. If I actually get to 30 health, then my starting deck comes with this card that says, do infinite damage, which is always pretty awesome. So that's a neat way to do that. So that's a cool element of this game. There's also some cards once I get to 10 mastery that I can shuffle. I can pick one of these to put in my deck, so I'll set those to the side. And my starting deck here is going to be 7 of these crystals, this blaster that does a damage, and then these 2 cards, which as I gain mastery, give me more crystals and more damage. Those are really your 2 resources in the game. And then in the solo mode, everybody starts with their 2-cost card that lets them draw a card of their color. So the colors are your factions that you can play. So I shuffle up, I draw 5 cards, and then I play all of those cards in a turn. I wonder if I can actually pull this back a little bit here. Keep my deck over here. All right, so I've got 2 shards. So first off, I will play this one that lets me draw a card, and if I have more than all enemy players, gain 2 crystals. So actually, before I do that, I'm going to spend this crystal, which will let me gain 1 mastery. Now, I can't gain more than 1 per turn. It's once per turn focus. So now I will play this card, which will let me gain 2 more crystals and draw a card. And then I deal 1 damage. This one deals 2 damage unless I have 10 mastery, so that's 3 damage. He is down to 47. And I spent this crystal, so I have 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, this one gives me more crystals if I get more mastery. So what's really neat in this game is you'll see these ones that have the red outline. These are mercenaries. So I could hire them immediately to do their effect, but they get discarded. Or I can purchase any card and put it in my discard pile and wait for it to come through. So that's kind of the idea of what's happening here. And then you have allies and you have champions. So champions stay in play. Allies are played once and then go through. That's kind of the idea. So what did I say? I have 5 here. I have 5. So there's not a good breakdown. But I think if I buy this one, refill. Oh, that one should be out because that's from the red faction. And this one. I'll put these 2 in my deck. Draw, and then the enemy goes. First I draw 5 cards. So on the enemy's turn, what they're going to do is they're going to draw the top card of the deck, and then they're going to do that card, and then they're going to trigger all cards of that type. So the enemy's going to get this one, Fao Cthulhu, the Formless, so he will deal 2 damage to me. I have to put his cards above him, I guess. A little tricky, I didn't think about space for that. And then he'll trigger all the purple cards here. So this one is gain 3 damage, and this one is gain 1 mastery. So it gets 1 mastery, 3 more damage. I am down to 45. All right, and then I refill those, and that's how their turn goes. Oh, if the color matches his, he also gains a mastery. So it was purple, so he gains 1 mastery. Forgot about that. All right, now I've got 5 crystal shards, so I am going to purchase something here. Maybe this champion would be good. And that ends my turn. So I'm through my deck, so I reshuffle. And it's funny compared to like Marvel Champions, which you see a lot on our channel. I only reshuffle when I need to draw a card in terms of all that. Nope, nope, nope. Down you go. She always knows when I'm on camera. Okay, there you go. All right, so this champion will keep attacking every turn, so I'm going to have to take that one out if I want to stop that from happening. Purple again. Gain 5. So 5 damage to me, gains a mastery, and then this one deals 2 more. So I take 7 damage, I'm down to 38. Purple brings the hurt. All right. So I will play this one, which is gain 2, an additional 2 for each undergrowth ally you've played this turn. So I want to play more green allies, and that one stays in play. I'll have to try to remember. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to deal 4 damage. So I can actually take this enemy out, 4 health. So I'll take this champion out to keep that damage coming at me. And then I've got 4 to purchase with. So I'm going to purchase a 3. And I'm going to gain 1 mastery. I'm going to get this one that lets me draw 2 cards. Card draw tends to be good. All right, draw my 5 cards. Draw for them. All right, so they drew the yellow champion. So this one will come in play, deal 3 damage to me, and then this one will enter play, and this one will enter play. We play this, draw a card. What do they do when they draw a card? They gain a mastery. All right. So this one deals 3 damage, man, and this one deals 1 for each other champion, so that's 2 more. So 8 damage to me. So they're going to take out my champion and then deal 3 to me. So the enemy will always try to take out champions if they can. I tend to do the same. So I got to do 10 damage there. Take them down. Oh, there's another one. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. And this one gains 7. That's going to be 8. All right. Wow. I am not going to be able to take that out. So I should have watched for that as they were piling up. All right. So I will put mine down, which lets me draw a card. Evoticus. And then I do not have more mastery than the enemy. And if I play all of them from my hand, I get the bonus on this one. So that was just going to give me 2 crystals. This one's going to let me draw a card. And I get 1 damage. Oh, that one probably should have been 1 more, huh? For each, including itself. So I will deal 1 damage back. And then I will purchase 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6. So I really would like to buy an enemy that can attack immediately. This one could deal 3, but that's not great for taking any of these down. So I guess I'll go long-term strategy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll buy these 2 for 4. And then I will gain... I'll actually buy... I gotta gain a mastery. I'll gain a mastery. Do I want this card? No, I don't think so. All right. This one stays in play. See, it's hard to remember that. All right. Draw 1, 2. Shuffle. Oh, my goodness. I am so in trouble. That is 10, 13, 17 damage. I got 2 turns. Wow. I have beat this every time I've played it, practicing up, making sure I remember, and I am getting crushed. All right, so they're going to draw purple. That will gain them a mastery, and they will gain 5 damage. So they're going to deal 22 damage to me, plus this 2 is 24 damage. All right, so 2 there, so I take 22. I am down to 4. Wow. All right, not normally this hard. All right, so then my turn. I will draw 2 cards. What am I going to do? I need defense and quick. I will play this one, Editry, and then I will play these 2, which will actually give me 3 damage and 6 if I've played another Undergrowth. Heal 3 to go to 7. and 5 if I play those. So that gives me 11, and this is 2 and 2 for each additional. So I actually just did 17 damage, which will clean sweep these. So that is helpful. That could be the turn that saves me. And then I've got 3 more damage and 1 crystal. So my 1, I will buy a mastery. 3 damage, 43. Huh. All right, I'll have to see if that helps. Definitely want to go the healing route if I can. So let's see. So they're going to draw blue, draw 2 cards, so they gain 2 mastery instead. And then they only trigger these if they're at 15 or more. And then the other blue is going to be this draw card. And this one will gain them 1 mastery a turn. So they're going to take the mastery route, but I got a little time to lick my wounds here. See what I could do to come back. All right, so 2 crystals, 6 crystals. So I probably want to look at buying these ones. Non-champion card you played this turn. All right, so what do I have? 6. So I could buy these 2 and gain a mastery to get me to 5. Not a lot of healing, but this one will be 2. So I'll deal 2 damage directly. So champions don't block. I think there's 1 in the whole game that does block, and it'll say that it does. So you can choose to attack them or not. This does look a little funny. This champion is with him over here. These are mine in front of me. Maybe I do something like this. All right. Well, if he draws purple, I think I'm in trouble. But we'll see what we could do. There's also cards that block as well, so you have that. All right. So he's going to draw purple. Uh-oh. 4, gain a mastery, which is 8 instead. I think this is my doom. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 4 is 17. Man, I just couldn't keep that damage off the board, and that will defeat me. So he'll go right through this. He won't attack this if he can kill me. Well, there you go. That's kind of a quick game of Shards of Infinity, but that's how the solo mode works. It doesn't usually seem to be that hard. I mean, there's definitely a sense of don't leave too many on the board, which I think I did when I got those yellows and those champions, which can be really powerful in terms of that. But all in all, I think the solo mode is pretty fun. But it's definitely, in my mind, still a better game 2-player. There are other modes. I enjoy the co-op, but it's like not real time. But it's everybody at the same time, and that bothers some people. Like, it's just too much going on. And so it's a little too fast, but I found it enjoyable. Like, oh, we're trying to do this damage, and enemies are coming out and whatnot. But there's a look at the solo mode for you. So in a regular game, we would both just have a deck, and we'd be building that up. And as you get that mastery, he just got a little too powerful with gathering all those heroes at once, which was a little bit my bad, I suppose. Reading that board to see what's happening in terms of all that. But yeah, no, it's a really enjoyable game. The expansion just added some more cards, and then I never got to 10 mastery, but had I gotten to 10 mastery, I'd either get this ally that I could shuffle in my deck, gain a mastery, and then gain damage equal to half of my mastery. So if I kind of go for that goal, get to 20, gain damage equal to your mastery instead of half. Should just say other. So I would then, your mastery would be your damage. So this would be just straight damage for mastery. And then this one gains defense equal to your mastery and draw a card. So these cards are really good because as they were dealing that damage, I probably should have looked for some of those block cards, although I don't know that more than one came out. But if you just have this in your hand, you reveal it and you block whatever it says. So like there's one that will block 8 damage or whatever it is. Okay, cat. Thank you. So this one would block 3 damage. Thank you. This card here would block 3 damage, and then I just put it back in my hand in terms of that. So really, since it's 2-player, well, I guess there's some multiplayer modes. I don't know how that works in multiplayer. But yeah, so these cards were cool. These came with this Relics expansion. And then the co-op expansion has enemies that you fight, and there's a little book, and it will deter. so you could replay a couple times, and it gives you upgrade cards for your deck, so you can change your starting deck as you play. Really, really simple campaign. Reminds me of the Marvel Champions campaign. Like, hey, here's one little bonus for the next fight. Here's one little bonus for the next fight. But it's only like 3 fights, I want to say, so it's really fast. I think it's 3 fights. I think there's 2 boss options, and then, or like mini boss, and then the main boss. And then it also came with this red faction, which is kind of neutral here. If there's supposed to be another one of those I didn't find. And you could purchase these, and these almost always give you like another card draw or something like that, or they let you fast play from the center, so you could take a card and then you could put it right into play with those mercenaries, which is kind of neat. So those were fun. I actually pretty much shuffle these in all the time, but when I was looking through the solo rules and online, I didn't see how to work with those, so I wasn't sure if I could use them. And then there's another character as well that works with those. So these have cards that are specific to them. There's cards in the deck that'll say, like, if you're Tetra, gain such and such. But that's it. Really fast game. Once you get to know it, and the deck building, it's really interesting, and you can play so many different routes. Like, ooh, do I want to go for mastery and try to trigger all my mastery things, or just straight up mastery and get to 30? Because you could try to start to trigger abilities that are at like 15 and 10 and just get that far. And it's an interesting balance. I also like this. Whenever you have 1 left over to spend, you could just increase your mastery, which is kind of nice. You don't feel like you're wasting. And then the 4 different routes are different. Like blue is blocking and card draw, and green is healing and damage for playing multiple of the same type. And purple is recurring cards from your discard pile. And yellow is lots of big heroes that trigger off of each other. So you want to have a lot of them in play to be able to do that. But there you go. There's a look at Shards of Infinity, a game that's been out for a little while. Let's see. 2016 sounds right to me. I don't see anything there. Take a quick look on the box. Don't see anything there either. So not sure, but something like that. Really enjoyable 2-player card game. There's a bunch in this genre, but this one just plays really, really smooth. And even the abilities are not tricky to get to learn. So you can just play a bunch of games. Probably play 3 games in an hour once you really know it. And do a best of 3 against somebody else. That's the best way to play it. 2-player. The solo mode, I think, is neat. Although you can see what happens if the cards don't go in your favor at all. It was a little bit of a beatdown there. So, all right, that's it, everybody. Marvel Champions should be making a comeback this week. There's no Wasp, unfortunately, got delayed, so we won't be able to play with her. But we think we're just going to play some Marvel Champions and do some Marvel Thursdays. So we're going to pick another Marvel game, maybe Villainous, or Larry has a game, Contest of Champions. So check that out on Thursday. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon and a great Monday getting this week and this year started. Bye, everybody. Until next time, I'm the Brandt, and I hope you step into the portal.